All right, on to part two, explore the Colorado River Basin. Have you been in a drought? Are you living through one now? Most places in the United States experience droughts occasionally. Sometimes drought causes widespread interruptions of daily life. Other times, drought is milder. People may not even notice it except for the lack of rainy days. The word drought means different things to different people. What visions does the term bring to your mind? Parched land, dried crops, dust storms, and starving livestock are some of the scenes that people associate with the term drought. Unlike most hazardous weather conditions, drought is not always obvious. Drought can be years in the making, as moisture in the soil evaporates and surface water sources disappear due to the lack of rain. Common to all types of drought is the fact that they originate from a lack of precipitation, resulting from an unusual weather pattern. If the weather pattern lasts a short time, a few weeks or a couple months, the drought is considered short term. But if the weather or atmospheric circulation pattern becomes entrenched with the lack of precipitation lasts for several months to several years, the drought is considered to be long term. How do we measure the severity of the drought? The Palmer Drought Severity Index, PDSI, measures the duration and intensity of long-term drought, and it is useful to compare the relative dryness, wetness from one place compared to another. Long-term drought is cumulative, so the intensity of drought during any particular month is dependent on the current weather patterns, plus the cumulative patterns of previous months. Since weather patterns can change almost literally overnight from a long-term drought pattern to a long-term wet pattern, PDSI can respond fairly rapidly. Notice on the date shown on the example map, the only serious drought conditions were in California, Wyoming, and Montana. Is your region or state presently experiencing a drought? Check the current drought index map to see. So drought is going to be anybody who is in the orange color and a little bit of the yellow. Green is pretty good. Approximately 1,400 miles long and flowing through 7 U.S. states and into Mexico, the Colorado River drains roughly one-twelfth of the land area from the contiguous United States. The Colorado River Basin is divided into the upper and lower basins at Lee's Ferry, located in northern Arizona. The upper basin spans portions of Wyoming, Colorado, New Mexico, Utah, and northern Arizona. The lower basin covers parts of Nevada, Arizona, California, southwestern Utah, and western New Mexico. The Colorado River also supplies water to parts of the states in Baja California and Sonora in northwestern Mexico. So let's see. This was as of January 23rd, 2001. The black means that it is missing or incomplete. And oh my gosh, look at that. We are currently experiencing a drought right now. There we are in Pennsylvania. Who would have thought? Let me hide that. So it looks like we're in the severe drought range. That is crazy. I had no idea. So this is where the Colorado River goes, you can see. In this activity, you will explore aspects of the Colorado River Basin using a variety of resources and tools such as Google Maps. It is important to know about the environment and ecology of the region you are studying in order to get a better sense of the climate signal that the trees are recording. In the second part of the activity, you will focus your attention on one of the three regions in New Mexico. You'll examine the terrain and look for trees that would be good candidates for yielding core samples with a long growth history. So right-click on the Colorado River Basin Interactive Map link and open the map in a new window. You will use the interactive map to investigate the components of hydrologic basin formed by the Colorado River and its tributaries. Take note of the major rivers in the system, dams and lakes formed by them, and look at the series of human-made canals that draw water from that river. Note the Colorado River forms the border between Arizona and California, so that portion of the graphic is a dotted line instead of blue. So what major rivers flow into the Colorado River in the upper basin? That's our first question. Taking a little bit of time to load. At least the areas are labeled for us. You can see the upper basin is what we're going to be focusing on first, and we're looking for major rivers. Okay, let's zoom in a little bit here. So here's the Colorado River, and it looks like we have the Green River. That's emptying in. Down here we have the San Juan River coming in, and the Duchenne River, because that's going to feed into the Green River as well. What are the major rivers that branch from the Colorado River in the lower basin? Okay, so Colorado River comes along here, and it goes over to here. Definitely going to need to be zoomed in. Little Colorado River, there's a dam. Well, Lake Mead would be one, along with the Hoover Dam. We're going to have Lake Mohave, and you could put the Davis Dam. Lake Havasu would be another one. We have the Imperial Dam down here. There's an aqueduct. Looks like St. George. There's a river going that way. I think that's about it. Well, the All-American Canal over here, these also are part of the lower basin. So we'll put that All-American Canal in the Salton Sea. Okay. List the major dams that have been built in the basin and lakes and reservoirs that have formed behind them. So we have this Colorado River aqueduct system that carries water to the Coachella Valley in California. So that's this guy here. The Central Arizona Project, which carries water through Arizona. This guy right here, this in purple. And it carries water through Phoenix and Tucson. And there's another, this one down here, the All-American Canal. So you're looking for the purple ones. How many canal systems have been built to carry water to other portions of the basin? So I would say 3, because that's what we have listed here. There'd be 3. At which sites did you find evidence of decreasing water levels in the system? Okay, so we're not at that question yet, so let's move on then. Explore the Colorado River Basin. Click on the Google Maps link and type Glen Canyon Dam. When the map comes up, click on the satellite view. Okay, so there's the Glen Canyon Dam. Zoom out and examine Lake Powell, the body of water formed by the dam. Look for evidence of falling water levels. Sediment and rocks exposed by falling water levels often appear white and are called bathtub rings. The white bathtub ring seen on the rocky side of the canyons shows a historical high water level in the reservoir. The ring is a coating of minerals deposited on the rocks while they were covered by water. Take a screenshot of a good example of the bathtub rings. So zoom out and examine Lake Powell. Oh wow, look at all that. This is going to be those white areas. You can see it all around. There's even some here, here. All this would have been covered in water. Here's Lake Powell over here on the side. You can see the bathtub rings there. So you will need that screenshot because you will be inserting it into question number 6. Question number 5, at which sites did you find evidence of decreasing water levels in the system? It's at every single site where there is a little reservoir. All around, the water level is decreasing. Any place you see white, that means that it is decreasing. Type in the following sites along the course of the river in the search box and make observations. Note any evidence of diminishing water levels and note the terrain and types of vegetation at each site. Also note the type of land used. Is it residential, urban, agriculture, desert? At each site, zoom drop in to verify. So these are the sites that we'll be going to momentarily. I just want to look at these questions here. So we did question number 5. Question number 6 was that picture. Okay, and now it looks like at these ones here, 7 through 9, we're going to be using with these guys up here. Okay, so Hoover Dam and Lake Mead. So here we are, Lake Mead and Hoover Dam. All right, so looking at the terrain here, it's pretty dry, pretty arid. There's some sparse vegetation, but not very much. The next one we wanted to go to is the Davis Dam and Lake Mohave. Apparently I can't drop in here. Let's try dropping in onto the road. I guess I can't drop into the water. Okay, again, looking pretty arid. It's pretty dry. There is some grass there. I'll go on to this one. So you can kind of see over there, it looks like a lot of desert area again. These are all deserts. So we got two more. Ah, how do I get him to drop? He won't drop. Okay. Well, I'll just zoom in a little bit. You can look at the plants. And again, it looks very dry and desert-like in this area, the Imperial Dam. Morales Dam. At this site, the canal takes water to the Mexicali Valley. A few more trees here. I must have either turf or irrigation system going there. Okay. Kind of similar to the others. We can answer the rest of our questions here. What do you think caused the flow of the Colorado River below Morales Dam to be so drastically reduced? Well, a lot of the water is going to be taken to that All-American Canal. It's siphoned off, so they're not going to get as much water going there. Number 8, how did the vegetation change as you traveled along the river to the lower river basin? It gets a little bit more desert-like the more we move down. In much of the Colorado, water in the Colorado is being used to irrigate otherwise dry, unproductive desert regions. Take a screenshot of a good example of this practice. So you would just be going into the Google Earth and you would be taking a picture of what you could find there as far as, a desert area that has some kind of good life in it. That would be it for part 2. Now there is a part 3, and I'll explain that in the next video.